which are the cherries, 5th of 4th. Hello, welcome to the chair reviews. Welcome to the chair reviews. The chair reviews. This week it is Easter. I hope you can see this because that was just the mayor doing it. This week it's Easter. It's the Easter special. Chair reviews, Get Face reviews, sponsored by Kinder. Not actually sponsored by Kinder, but never mind. That took a lot of work setting it up, so I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, let me just say, great thanks. And let me also say, let's get right into it. As normal, let's get right into it. Let's move this so I know what I'm getting right into. And this week I'm going to start off with a couple of DVD shots that, because I'm on a build-up thing, I know what's coming, I know what I'm going to do. This stuff doesn't go unrehearsed, you know. It might seem an awful lot like it does. Don't tell anyone, it is a bit. But anyway, let's get right into it. So the first one I'm going to review, it's here. It's this film, Obvious Child. Don't know whether it's better to see it that way. Still got the DVD from Love Film. Obvious Child. There you are. You won't need to see too much of that, to be honest. It's a film directed by Gillian Robespierre. Starring a woman called Jenny Slate. She must be good friends with her, or she must be very funny or very well known in New York. It's a very New Yorky kind of a film. But it's very much her film, Jenny Slate's. So she stars as this comedian on the New York comedy circuit who splits up with her boyfriend at the beginning, has a bonk with this guy, and then kind of tries to avoid him for a while because she's preggers. Doesn't really want him to know. Sorry, I'm just doing some technical things here. Doesn't really want him to know. So yeah, she's pregnant. Doesn't want him to know. And the film's it's one of these really, really New Yorky films. So they're on the comedy circuit. Her friends are as well. One's gay, one's like a feminist. It's that stuff there's a lot of these days coming around where people are just very left-wing New Yorkers. It's a thing. Unfortunately, it's not done as deftly as the likes of Woody Allen used to do these things. But there's a lot of it around. I think the problem is, one of the problems anyway, with this film, I didn't mind it, but one of the problems is when you see them on their comedy circuit, these people are shit. They're the least funny people you could imagine, pretty much. Most of their gigs are free, they say, and I'd ask for my money back if it was free. So in those parts it goes wrong. I think when she's with her friends it kind of goes wrong as well. It's just a little bit too run-of-the-mill, like I'm quirky New York, I've got no money. Yeah, why do you live in New York then? It just seems like it's just a little bit of annoying conceit, I think. But she, when she's not on the stage, she can be quite funny. Jenny Slate, this is quite funny. There's a lot of Jewish humour, you know. Well, it's just she's got a Jewish family, so it just is one of those things. So there's a lot of that about going to synagogues and stuff like that. The guy is kind of a waspy guy. There's some interesting things going on because they keep them apart for a lot of the screen time. And when they're together, I think that's when the film really lifts off. He's a really sweet guy, and he's actually quite funny as well, but he's got a very different sense of humour. And the little scenes when they're together, which are far too few and far between, really work well. I wish there'd been a lot more of that. I think it's quite an interesting decision to keep them apart. The main part of it, she's having an abortion as well. She wants to have an abortion. And so the film goes on, he's not too involved, and they meet every now and again, and when they do meet, I think there's a real chemistry going on, and it really, really works. Unfortunately, they've decided to keep them apart for most of the time, and the film works less well, but those scenes do add quite a lot of spark. There are some funny bits, it's kind of well played. What shall I go for? I think I said last night high chair. I'm going to say high chair. Let's go for your guns. Go for your guts, and I've got plenty. Let's go high chair. Let's go high chair for Obvious Child, that is, from 2014. Right. The next one is God's Pocket, and this is a film by John Slattery, who you may know from Mad Men. He's the one who's not Don Draper. He's his mate, the silver-haired mate. He's a pretty good actor, and it turns out he's not a bad director either. The other key thing about this, I think there's... You know when someone dies, like when Heath Ledger died, and when Philip Seymour Hoffman died, which is who I'm going to be talking about, there's always a lot of, oh, it was his last film. But I think God's Pocket, I think that really is his last film that he did. So, it stars Philip Seymour Hoffman, he lives in this kind of crappy... I think it's meant to be outside Philadelphia. This crappy little town outside Philly. Yeah, that's called God's Pocket, and kind of ironically because it's a shithole place. But it's a small town, and in there live John Turturro, a couple of the Wire alumni, the big bald blonde policeman, and the judge, who are pretty good in their roles. Someone else famous in it as well, properly famous. God damn it. Oh, Richard Jenkins. Hard to explain who Richard Jenkins is unless you know who Richard Jenkins is, but he's the kind of bald older man who excellent. You can look him up on IMDb. He's brilliant. Witches of Eastwick. He brings an awful lot to any film that he's in. So he's it. So these are the three kind of principals, and the large-breasted girl from Mad Men, like from John Slattery days. I can't remember her name. That's very bad of me. I could go and look, but I'm not going to. Christina Hendricks, because I don't need to, because it's all in there. Right, Christina Hendricks, yeah, she plays Philip Seymour Hoffman's wife. And it's all about this real crummy real shithole of a town. And Seymour Hoffman and Turturro are kind of a gambler friends, and they're just trying on the make. They're real gamblers. Any money they get tends to go on the horses. And at the beginning, Seymour Hoffman's stepson dies, and there are all sorts of shenanigans about the body, and the mafia come in. They want a few favours here and there, and yeah, it's one of these seedy little films. Really, it's very downbeat. It's quite a sombre piece, but it's not without humour at all and/or pathos. Because there's some good stuff to see here, not least Philip Seymour Hoffman's last performance, and it is a very, very good performance. Not least John Turturro. Not least John Turturro's mum, I think it is, who stars in a really, really strange scene towards the third act that is so unexpected that it really raised the bar for me. I just went, oh, I didn't expect that, and it was really good fun. Yeah, that's probably the highlight scene, but I liked the whole thing. It's pretty well directed. There's some dark humour, shifting bodies around like almost Last of the Summer Whiny stuff, but with really, really very good performances mixed in with those scenes to make them obviously not Last of the Summer Whiny. And I liked it a lot. I'd say look out for it. As I said, it's quite sombre, it's quite dark, quite slow, but it's not long, so it's worth your time, and it's worth seeing these films about these like backwater towns, or cities they even call them. Richard Jenkins plays an alcoholic reporter. There's some interesting characters, you know. It probably needed a little bit more zest, but I liked it. I liked it as it was. I'm going to say a high chair. It's certainly a high chair for that film. Definitely seek it out. It's worth it. You've got to see Philip Seymour Hoffman's last performance. That's the third or fourth time I've said that line. It's annoying. I'm annoyed with myself. But anyway, it's worth seeing. A High Chair, God's Pocket by John Slattery. Right, now I'm going to go on to the cinemas. Now I'm going to drink some wine. God damn it. Happy Easter, by the way. Oh, yeah. I'm required to say Kinder Surprise. Happy Easter. I'm not really required to. It's like Kinder Surprises. Right, we're going on to SpongeBob SquarePants. Now, I have not ever seen a SpongeBob cartoon before. Why would I have? Haven't got kids. And I went along to see it. SpongeBob SquarePants. What's it called? SpongeBob the movie, Sponge Out of Water. Which is funny already, essentially, isn't it? And I didn't know what to expect. And I'd seen the trailer and I thought, well, it looks kind of funny-ish. And then I went along and luckily the cinema was pretty empty, but there were a few adults in there. And I thought, this is kind of odd. And then I realised why. It is really surreal. It's incredibly weird. Okay, story-wise. Somebody steals the Krabby Patty. SpongeBob is actually a chef in a burger joint, making these Krabby Patties. Made it a crab burger. And everyone absolutely loves them, and that's what the people in Shithole Village live in, whatever it's called. Bikini Bottom. And somebody steals it, and then everyone goes mad. But they really go mad. There's just this brilliant scene where Mr. Krabs, who's the restaurant owner, says, no, you don't understand. The walls of society will come breaking down. They go, it's not going to be that bad. And then it instantly goes, boom. And there's loads of fire coming out of all the buildings. And it turns into hell. And he goes, welcome to the apocalypse. I hope you like leather. Because he's all dressed in leather. And from then on, it gets weirder and weirder and weirder. It's brilliant. Well, I say brilliant. It's very, very good. It's it's inspired. It's inspired. That's what I mean. SpongeBob goes off in bubbles. Oh, little Plankton. Plankton's the enemy, and he's the reason why this stuff got stolen, because he's trying to steal it himself. Plankton's a little thing with one eye. He's brilliant. His voice is just strange, and he's really sarcastic, and he hates everyone. But he's funny. He's really, really funny. SpongeBob's annoying, but they make play of the fact that he's annoying. So, as a torture of Plankton, they make SpongeBob laugh. But instead of just him laughing, you see suddenly a wall of SpongeBob's going, and just loads of mouths. It's really weird. There are intergalactic dolphins, time travelling, dolphins with laser beams who look after the entire universe. There's just so many weird things in this film, and it's so unexpected, and I liked it so much more than I had any reason to. It was funny, it was weird. What else is there? There's more stuff about SpongeBob, I'm sure, because the references to The Shining, Mad Max, The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. I was sitting there just going, this is not for kids, this is for me. It was entirely strange. It's entirely worth seeing. I was so surprised. The last 20 minutes they go on land and they become the CG things. If you've seen the trailer, they become like CG versions of themselves in a 3D world. I saw it in 2D, as I see everything in 2D, because 3D is crap and dying and good. Go away. The action scenes on the land, the CG stuff, really well done. Antonio Banderas plays a pirate who's stolen the stuff. It's so Looney Tunes. It's so weird and so kind of fresh. I really liked it. I spoke to a guy who worked at Nickelodeon. I did an interview with Nickelodeon Movies, and he said the consensus is that they've gone too far. I don't think they went far enough, and if they went further than that, I'd be at the cinema again already, watching it again. It was very, very funny. I loved it. It's a throne for SpongeBob SquarePants. It's a full throne. I can't go more than that, but honestly, I'd like to see it again. A throne is very good, by the way. A throne is very, very good. A throne is very, very good. Right, now we're going to go on to the second cinema film, which is Cinderella. Now, Cinderella, directed by Kenneth Branagh. Sorry, more technical know-how going on here. Directed by Kenneth Branagh. A Disney kind of update of their... Sorry, very thirsty. Of their animation, the 50s animation. Which is good. I've seen the 50s animation. It's okay. Saw it at Christmas once. It's fine. Yeah. I mean, there's not an awful lot to tell you about the story of Cinderella, is there? You know what it is. And that will come up later. So, I'll just say that there's been an awful lot of criticism of this film. People say, This ugly sisters are a bit stereotypical, aren't they? Or they're not ugly enough. Or Cinderella's a bit sappy, isn't she? She's not really strong enough. I lose faith in people going to the cinema if they're saying this stuff. Yes, the ugly sisters are stereotypical. They're stereotypical of the ugly sisters in the Cinderella story. They're exactly the stereotype of those two people, who they are. Cinderella is not sappy. She is courageous and kind to a fault. She's not sappy just because she doesn't say, oh, fuck off, you, I'm not doing that. She is kind just beyond all of us, essentially. She's a fairy tale girl. And this is a fairy tale. And what a fairy tale. I went into this thinking, I just thought, it was a bit embarrassing going anyway, by the way. Obviously, as a 40-year-old man, nearly 40. As a 40-year-old man, 39-year-old man, going into a film where I expected to be surrounded by little girls, not in a good way. Not that there's ever a good way. There definitely isn't, unless they're above 20. Let's be safe. But yeah, it was kind of it's pretty empty. But anyway, I sat there thinking, oh, okay, this is going to be okay. This is going to be okay. But it wasn't okay. It was utterly brilliant. It was charming. It was a belter of a fairy tale, an absolute belter. Lily James plays Cinderella. Not missing anyone. Yeah, Lily James plays Cinderella. She is slightly, in a few scenes, she's a little bit too, a little bit OTT on the love of animals. Hello, swan. Or, you know, that kind of thing. But it's only a few scenes. Because otherwise I wouldn't have felt so for her. I wouldn't have felt so many emotions for her. When she's crying, when she gives up, when she just says, I cannot be nice to these people anymore. She does her part. Let's just say that she does her part ably well. She's very pretty and she goshes and ahs like in the right places. Kate Blanchett is the evil stepmother. Oh, let's just say a quick word. Ben Chaplin plays her dad. And it's really good to see Ben Chaplin around. Remember from the first series of the thing where he's stuck in the flat, but it was good. And Ben Chaplin, he made it good. And Ben Chaplin is I'd like to see Ben Chaplin in a lot more stuff. But he's in this, he plays her dad. Now, yeah, I can't really do any spoilers for Cinderella, can I? So he doesn't last all the time. And Kate Blanchett is the stepmother, and she is fantastic in this. She's properly bad without being evil. She has motivations. The emotions that you see in her eye, all the raves were about Blue Jasmine last year or 2 years ago. But I think this is a real performance. You see the pain in her eyes, you know, when she's not talking about pain. It's a really, really fine performance. And she is an evil stepmother, or wicked stepmother. But she just plays it brilliantly. There are some scenes just between her and Cinderella towards the end, when she's explaining her motivations. And they're really, really powerful. But then every scene of this, for me, was really, really powerful. Except maybe the first 15 minutes. Then it just got better and better and better. Kenneth Branagh knows how to mount a fairy tale. He knows what to do about magic. Oh yeah, my one slight other grievance. Helena Bonham Carter, slightly OTT. Didn't enjoy her performance as the fairy godmother that much. Let's scrap these minor things. Because this is a fairy tale mounted on such scale and such beauty, with such purity, with such naive emotions, such nice emotions, that we should be proud that these are in film. It was glorious in a 40s MGM style, big ballroom. When she comes into the ballroom, I just had tears running down my face because it was epic. It was genuinely epic. These dance scenes. The score was rousing all the time. The coach was just fantastic. This is fairy tale stuff. don't have a go at fairy tales for being fairy tales. They don't all have to be updated into like 2000s New York to make them acerbic and shit. This is wonderful, grandiose cinema, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Well done, Branagh. Well done, Disney. When you see that sign, that Disney sign come over, you know that you're in good hands, and you remain in good hands through Marvel, through the other thing, Lucasfilm, remains to be seen, but through Disney stuff. Really, really good. Absolutely wonderful. 3 thrones. I'm going full on. The year has been rescued. I just enjoyed this. Maybe I am a 9-year-old girl, but I just absolutely enjoyed it. 3 thrones. Her Madge says 3. And just a little word. The cartoon before was Frozen. A little addendum to the Frozen saga, I guess, as it's probably going to become. And at first I thought, I don't want to hear songs from bloody Frozen people. I've seen Frozen, it's fine. I think overrated. It's no Cinderella. But the little snowman with the teeth just going, bah, 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 bah. Absolutely charming. Lovely. Absolutely brilliant. So an enjoyable time at the cinema. We have turned the corner. February is forgotten. Let's just bundle it up and send it to Buenos Aires. We don't want February anymore. We're going with March, which is... well, we're going with April. March kind of rescued itself a little bit with Still Alice. But now we're steaming in. We're steaming in. The year can recover. We're going for it. We're going for it. We're going for it. I've forgotten my thing. Okay. I meant to stick this onto the thing. I meant to stick it onto the stick. Classics from the attic. Right, and this week, classic is The Kingdom. Alright, and I did tell you that these won't always necessarily be classics, but this is a film I just watched recently, again, and first time in about 5 years. And I just thought I'd remind people of it. Peter Berg is the director, and he's had a bit of a checkered directorial career. I think he's kind of started with this. There might be something before. But since then, he's done Battleships, which is renownedly crap. Hancock, which is half of it's okay. He did Lone Survivor recently, which apparently is decent. I still haven't seen because there's some sort of love film embargo. But anyway, The Kingdom stars Jamie Foxx, and here's the thing: it stars Jamie Foxx, Jennifer Garner, Chris Cooper, Jason Bateman, and Jeremy Piven turns up in it. And what it's about, if you haven't seen it, is there's a real heinous event goes on in Riyadh. It starts off with this really nice, I really liked it, this kind of cartoonish story of oil since the 30s. Very, very brief and very truncated. But about what's happened. And it's quite important because I watched a documentary series called Planet Oil on the BBC. And the starvation of America of oil in the 70s, I think when Nixon was around, is very, very key historically. And it really will be forever. Because once that happened, the Americans said, we will never have this going on again. That's when they put loads of troops into Saudi Arabia and loads of workers. And at the beginning of this film, The Kingdom, something happens to a lot of workers, and it's bloody brutal. You see a lot of people getting killed, and it's very, very good, actually. Not good that they're getting killed, but it's very well handled. Michael Mann's a producer on this film, who directed Heat. Well, that'll do. Basically, he directed Heat, but he's done a lot more stuff that's very good. But he's very, very good at military hardware and precision battle scenes. And so is Peter Berg. So, yeah, there's a series of events. And I won't tell you anything, because when I watched it, I said it had been about 5 years, and I was thinking, is there something? Oh, yeah, there is something. And there's some really, really intense stuff going on there. And then the FBI team come, which is Jamie Foxx and Jason Bateman and Chris Cooper and Jennifer Garner. And they come and they say, we're going to solve this stuff. And there's a bit of, we're the Americans, we're going to solve the problems kind of stuff going on, yeah. But the thing about this film is that how it's unusual. Like, say, from A Zero Dark 30, which is very, very good, or from, numerous attempts at this kind of stuff. It's really funny all the way through. The characters, the way they interact with each other, particularly Jason Bateman, who is the comedy god who I love, absolutely love. It's really funny. These people are characters. They jibe with each other. They have a go at each other. They're like constantly undermine each other. Jason Bateman, like, sorry to go on about him, but all of his lines are brilliant. And I tell you what's really good is there's a captain of the guard, a captain of the police guard. I cannot remember his name. Is it in here? Well, I hope so. Well, it's not, is it? It's not likely going to be, is it? Because he's like he's an Arab guy. But I know I should remember it, so I'm as bad as they are. But anyway, but he's absolutely brilliant, and they develop a relationship with this guy that's really, really intriguing, and it's funny all the way through. Yeah, and it's worth seeing, and there's a good action sensibility. It goes pace. It's an hour and 45 minutes, which is a time that I like for a film, and it's bookended. I said at the beginning there are these series of events, and at the end there's a massive battle that is supremely well handled, very tense, quite bloody, really, really entertaining, and you're quite fearful of some of the characters. It's very well handled. It's not amazing. I'm just saying, I saw it recently. If you have seen it, then I think watch it, give it another watch, because I said it'd been 5 years since I saw it and I couldn't remember half of the stuff. I liked it. Watch it. The Kingdom. That's it. Let's just leave it at that. Let's not get too much into this relationship between us. So yeah, I'm gonna take this. No, let's just leave it on for the end. Woohoo! That's it. The chair reviews. We're done. We're done. We're Eastering. We're bang. We're done. We're bang. We're done. We're bang. We're done. We're bang. We're done. We're bang. Happy Easter.